All right, what is up, everyone? Dre Trades here, and today we are going to talk about Bitcoin. What I've been talking about for a while now. I'm a latecomer, but not that late. I've been bullish since 30,000. Yes, the first 30,000 right here. If you look at this 30,000, I was bullish. The pullback, I was unbullish, and then I got bullish again at 30,000, and I stayed bullish, and I'm going to stay bullish no matter what. I'm telling you, we go to 15,000, and I'm going to be bullish. But I'll be having second thoughts, man. I'll be like, I don't know, should I stay bullish? But I'll be trying to scoop up more and more and more. That I'm just totally convinced. I did a lot of research and I've been trying to tell you about it. So I've been talking about Bitcoin definitely this week, last week. I think a couple of videos ago, I said we're going to the high. There's my gray area. All my lines always stay the same from video to video. Let's look at something. There we go. Test 1, 2. All right. All my lines stay the same from video to video. And that's what this gray area is here. And I'm just looking at, we at 62,310. And I'm like, are we going to, the market's got another 2 hours to close. Are we going to, and now Bitcoin trades 24 hours a day. All right. But it just rips when the market opens. So anyway, yeah, we got another 2 hours to go. We're definitely reaching that high by this weekend, but are we going to reach the high by the end of the close? By the close? I mean, Bitcoin's up 7%. That's huge. Look at these monthly candles. I want to show you. Look at this chart right here. Come on, let's move it over. Let's just get right here. Look. All right, this is what happens when you do it live, okay? This is what happens. All right. Look at the size of this monthly candle. Now, I know the month is still being drawn. We got another 15 days to go. So if this thing can go straight up, this will be a huge candle. This will be an incredible, it won't be an outside month, but this candle has the potential to encompass, and I'm going to say, let's just say all of this area and then some. Let's say it kind of comes up here, goes like that, right? Encompass all that area. It's a total breakout, basically, right? Nothing to the left, clear skies. You'll have FOMO like crazy. This Bitcoin ETF. Hopefully this works. Now I'm coming up with a plan. Like, if it doesn't work, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna buy more Bitcoin. That's what I'm gonna do, because we know Bitcoin is gonna drop, shoot 10. It'll drop hard if somehow the SEC, whoever the SEC denies this ETFs or whatever. But this is just the beginning. This is early, man. Bitcoin's going to 255 million. It's going up there. All right. This a limited supply of 21 million. It's going up there, and it can go up there fast. So let me get back to this candle right here. This candle I'm trying to draw on. All right. So you can see that candle. The range of this candle is, all right, you know what? Let me get rid of all my drawings. All right. So the range of this candle is, where is it at? I got to look at I got to like squint. It's 19,000, right? From here to here is 19,000 points. That's just this month. That's just 15 days. There's only 15 days in a month. This is the biggest candle yet. If this is the next biggest right here. This range was 25,000, but you can see the pullback that it had. Once it reached about 60,000, it pulled all the way back to 46,000. But it did continue to go higher. But can you imagine if this monthly candle can close at the top of the range? All aboard, man. All aboard Bitcoin. And one thing, and if you look at the stochastic, you can see we got the crossover. Everything's looking good, going up. When it happened here, we didn't really have that. So this is, it's just so perfect, man. Bitcoin. So I told you, man, if you just now discovering Dre Trades, you should discover me earlier, because I told you. And I'm sure other people was telling you too, but you're just skeptical. You're just like, I don't believe it. And I know the feeling, because that was me. All right, so just start learning about Bitcoin. Just learn about this whole cryptocurrency thing and how the government's just, maybe I shouldn't say these words, might ruin how they kind of just, messing up currency. And it's just perfect. And this is why it's going to a million. All right, I said in a million. Anyway, so, all right, so let's look at a couple of different stocks. Some of the stocks that I'm in, hey, if you follow me, you know what I'm going to talk about. But hey, we're going to talk about some different stocks. I'm going to try to, talk about a variety. Let's get a variety. Now, I talked about NEO the other day, and I'm bringing it up because it's up 3.75%. Let's go back to the weekly, see what's going on here. You can see my little tag here, and I said, hey, this is a good opportunity to get in, and you know where you're gonna get out. You right there, and I circled that low, and that low is 33.17, right? So we up there. It's $37 now. That's up over 10%. So it's starting to look good. It's starting to go. So I don't really trade this one, but this is just something I was looking at because I'm just looking at a lot of the stocks bouncing off bottom of ranges, and that's what kind of got me bullish, right? When everybody was bearish, we talked about it here. I did a video and said, don't panic. Don't panic. And I did a circle here. Everything is all good. And I said, if we get below this low, which was the 350, this is the Qs, I said, then we have something to worry about. But, every time we tagged it, we went up. And it looks like we're doing the same thing. Let's just hope that we can make a higher high. I will worry about a lower high here. And then it's like, okay, we're starting to come down. Now I'll be worried about, I think we might break this time. But so far, everything looks all good. So I'm liking the Qs. I was getting bullish. I was rearranging my positions. Trading with JRH. I don't know why I couldn't say your name. Anyway, hey, what's up, Jay? Yo, you hit me up on Twitter. Some things you read on Twitter, it's clickbait, okay? Let's just leave it at that. Anyway, so but nah, portfolio, it's definitely on fire today. It's on fire, boy. This whole week, boy. So what I've been doing is I just been kind of changing, getting longer. And I talked about it, getting longer, some of my favorite stocks. I was just going. That's why I wanted to reduce the portfolio so I can focus. All right. And I feel with stocks that I feel comfortable in getting longer in when it drops. And that's what I basically did. So it's all good. That stuff is just working. So hopefully it continues to work. That's all what I'll say about that. But yeah, this Q. So we're looking. I just had deja vu, by the way. Interesting. Yeah. Anyway, y'all have a deja vu? Yeah, I did this video already. Anyway, so let's see what happens, man. Let's look at the the market was all worrying about the 10-year. What's happening here with the 10-year? We at one. See, the thing is, we see how we're kind of ripping the market's gaining steam. Well, here's the yield. I mean, this is the yield, by the way. It's still up there. We was worried about it going up. Now we're at the top of the range, almost, right here. It came down a little, right here. But the market is almost at all-time highs, right? That's just what I'm saying. They ain't worried about this, man. The market was at all-time highs when this thing was 2%, 2.5%, 3%. It's about the speed, and they was worried about the speed. So let's just keep an eye on the speed and not necessarily the range. And I think this earnings season is going to be important. We're going to see if these companies are getting affected by all of this stuff. And it's actually, if everything is all good, they kind of give us all clear. And I don't think it's going to be all clear, especially with supply chain problems. I mean, that's going to be like the number one thing. Who managed that the best? I think we can go higher, but if it's like they start giving us disastrous reports, oh my God, then we maybe sink. Maybe this yield will even come down. So that's what. And if you look at the yield, can you track this thing? Right, because there's the resistance, right? You can see it's perfect. So maybe it's just hanging out and go sideways and then blast through. And then if that happens, if we start to get any speed on this yield, the NASDAQ stock is going to get crushed. So I think this is an important level. Let's just see if we could go sideways like we did over here. And this from here to here was, about 2 months. So maybe we can have the same kind of action. And I don't know. I just don't think it's going to go. Hey, buy Bitcoin. There's my answer for that. Right. So there's the 10-year. I want to look at, I talked about it the other day because I was listening to CNBC, Fast Money, man. You got to listen to that show. I like it. I like the halftime report. I don't really like the 5 o'clock show. But I listened to that well. And Josh Brown said Coinbase. So I was like, let me bring up Coinbase. I haven't brought that stock up in a long time. And I was like, talked about it in the last video. What is wrong with my stocks? My charts? No. It's like, I guess this stock is new. That's why I guess it's going all the way to the left. Anyway, so right there, right? Yeah, I was like, okay, I actually kind of like this trade. It's stock charts is jacked up. Well, anyway, this thing is up 6.3% today, thanks to Bitcoin. But this stock. Let's recap. Okay, it opened. All right, we had a IPO somewhere around. This is the weekly, somewhere around April 12th. All right, this thing went as high as $429 out the gate. And then it's been coming sinking ever since. And we hit this low. For some reason, it was able to catch support here multiple times. But this time on this run, it might be for real, since now that Bitcoin's got steam and, it's just like an all aboard kind of thing. I was actually kind of negative on the Coinbase because I'm just thinking everybody's going to be selling crypto and fees. It's going to be a race to the bottom with fees and zero fees. And that's how these guys make money. But if these guys can somehow figure out custodians for corporations, and if they do all that stuff, I don't really know what they do I know what they do as far as personal accounts, but as far as that, are they custodians, and can they lock it up and all that stuff? Maybe there's something here, right? Because these guys are definitely a leader in the space. So there's really the only one to go to, but there could be other leaders. That's what I'm concerned about. So, got Schwab, all these brokerages, and they're like, oh, look, like Robinhood, even though you don't really own the crypto with Robinhood, zero fees, right? Buy Bitcoin, you don't pay anything, and then it's just a race to the bottom. So anyway, I put on a long position. I put on what did I put on? Gosh, where are we at right now? See, as stock is trading at 276. If you go over here, I think this is my position, right? I can't remember. I put on a couple of positions. I didn't write them down. But I was examining. Let me look at the Analyze tab. Yeah, this is the one I put on. Okay, I put on the January 2024. This is over 800 days away. And it just cost me $2,400. One spread. And I put on the 300 to 390. And if you go to the chain, that's the highest you can go. So I basically bought at the money, a couple of strikes off, because I know 2 years from now, if I think I'm going to be correct, it's got to be over 300, right? Anyway, so to 390. And if you analyze that, I paid 2,400. I think that was an okay price. It filled right away, so it made me kind of worried, but it was the mid for the most part. Actually, I think it was a little under. And bump this up a little bit. And of course, the most I can lose is 2,400. My break even is about 324. It's good, right? Stock's 270. We're talking 2 years to basically gain 50 points. I think you could do that. And then, of course, the most I can make is 6,600. See, these are the trades that I like to put on, right? 2 years, I'm going to turn 2,400. It's like, what is that, 200% a year? Is that 200%? 24, right? 2,400 plus 200%. That's 72. Yeah, it's just about 200%, right? And so I'm making 100% a year if this comes true. And I just need the stock to go up to 390. And if you look at the chart, that's this right here. That's not even at the all-time high. And I would have loved to stretch that out some more. But for some reason, the option chain only goes up to 390. It's like, right? 390. If you look at the January's next year, right, the ones that's just a little over a year, you can see they go up to 510. So they need to add some more strikes to that, the one that's 2 years out. And this is because when they added all of this, it was at $400. They say thinking it's going to be hot. They added all these strikes. I thought about trading these, but I want more time. Now that the big leaps are out, those are the ones I want. So I didn't want to trade here because anything can happen, right? It could just turn, right? It's bullish now, tomorrow could be bearish. Who knows? I tell you what, we might double top. We might hit 65,000. Is that the top of Bitcoin? Come over here. What's the top? The high is, 65,520. We're probably going to drop it's definitely going to be some selling there for whatever reason. And then that's your time to get in. I don't know how much we're going to go down. But I tell you what, once we go down and come back up and break that level, it's full steam ahead. You think it's full steam ahead now. You wait until Bitcoin's at all-time highs. So you ain't going to be able to go to the water cooler at your job and be like, hey, man, you know about that Bitcoin? Just like when Doge was kind of running, everyone was talking about it. Same here. Speaking of Doge, I sold my SHIB. I sold it before the dip. I made 300. I made like 30%. And what made me sell it was I started, I was just getting, it was a gazillion YouTube videos on it. I couldn't get away from it. I couldn't run at everybody. Oh, make a million. You're going to make millions. Make millions. That's all I could say. Make millions by cheap million. And I was like, no, you're not going to make millions. So I decided to get out. It's like, it can't, it's got to be like Doge. No one's expected it. You can't, it's not going to be that trade where everyone knows to get on board and then it goes there and everybody's a millionaire. I don't really believe that. I don't really believe in that. I think it's just too much. So it could still happen. But that's just the reason why I'm sold. I sold. I'm not saying it ain't gonna happen, or maybe it will, and I missed the boat. But I jumped off the boat, and I decided to get into some more speculative altcoins with that money. So I stayed in the altcoin arena. It was only $1,000, but so I stayed in the altcoin arena. But I got off the sheave, and sure enough, I think it was down 20% or something like that. All right, back to this. All right, so yeah, we'll probably hit this pullback, but I was just sticking at the rip. We're at 62,000. You know, can we get another 3,000 before the market closes in 2 hours? I don't know, but I definitely think it's gonna hit there over the weekend. Definitely by, I'm gonna say Sunday evening. Sunday evening, if not tomorrow, definitely by Sunday evening. Basically, when the market opens on Monday, this thing will be at an all-time. It would have hit that. Because it's the pullback, right? So I'm going to say by when the market opens on Monday, it would have already reached 65,000, and it would just be a pullback. And then that's what they'll be talking about all the time. Yeah, they're going to be talking about it all the time. That's why everybody's going to get all bored. They're thinking they're missing something. All right, so what else could we talk about? All right, let's talk about Square, a stock that I am long straight calls with, and I want to sell some further out of the money calls. But I'm waiting for this to kind of get to this top of the range here, right? It's just now bouncing. I think I bought the call somewhere over here. So, you know, I'm about break even right now. There it is, right? So I wanted to get up here, and then I'm going to be selling further out of the money calls against that position. Hopefully, I'm thinking these guys are going to have good things to say on earnings. And they also report November 4th, right? That's actually 3 weeks away. Now, because I remember that earnings when Bitcoin was ripping. I can't remember, from 20 to 60 or whatever. And they came out and it was like, oh, we made all the transactions. They made a bunch of money. And the stock ripped. Well, Bitcoin's been ripping again, right? And everyone's talking about it, blah, blah. So I'm thinking these guys, it'll be the same thing. Wash, rinse, repeat. So I'm thinking they are gonna have that good earnings, you know, and it'll be thanks to Bitcoin. Let's look at its counter, PayPal, and I'm in it too. Same thing. It's sitting at the same place, bottom of the range, right? And that's how I started the video. I'm saying everything is gonna be at the bottom of the range. That's what made me kind of just say, hey, it looks like a good point where I think we can bounce. You said Robinhood coming out with a wallet. Yeah, I did hear about that with the. Sorry, I read that late because I was talking about that a while. Yeah, they coming out with your own public key, your key there, so you could have your own wallet. I still don't trust it though. All right, I'll say this. Like I have mine at an exchange, a central exchange. Buy your crypto at Robinhood. Get it off the exchange, man. Get yourself a cold wallet. Get your Bitcoin off the exchange. Don't trust these people. Like Coinbase. Did you hear the person that, and there's a lot of people, but this was one of the bigger stories just reported a couple days ago. They lost their 700,000 life savings because they got locked out of their account, and they also had the two-factor on, and they just started swiping away they coins, someone else, and Coinbase gave, you know what, they $500. Hey, sorry. They said it's not their fault. You know, they didn't lose it. You got swindled somehow. So they gave them $500, but bottom line, they're out $700,000. You know, buy your crypto, get it off the exchange, and that's good. You could do that with Robinhood if they come out with your keys, and then hold it in a cold wallet so your keys are not being jacked, you know, off the internet, you know. So the cold wallet does not connect to the internet. And if you can get one that's air gapped, that just don't even connect to a computer, it's even better, you know. So yeah, that's definitely what you need to do. And then now you got to worry about your own storage, how you're going to store that stuff. All right, so where else? Let's talk about, so PayPal bouncing off the bottom of the range. I like it. If you go to the monthly chart, I don't really like this pattern. It's still not defining itself as sideways yet. It's this kind of like loop in, right? So, but it's still in this range. It really hasn't done anything since the beginning of the year, and we really need to break out. But I'm a fan of this. I also want to sell another further out of the money call against the call I have already. I'm not doing that now because it's at the bottom of the range. I do think we can run a little bit here, and then I'll sell those calls, right? So that's what I'm looking for that. Let's talk about Nike. I'm going to talk about Nike. This is a stock I talk about from time to time, and this, how you see the breakout. We was talking about the stocks that break down, right? Get rid of that, right? Things has been breaking out, and then boom, the breakdown. But it's bounced perfect back to. This is what breakouts are supposed to do, right? They break out. They don't just go. They break out. They pull back, and then they take off again. And I think this is the takeoff again. So Nike, not really exciting right now because tech is starting to rip and Bitcoin is starting to rip. But just kind of keep an eye on Nike. It's, for the most part, it's right there on the moving average, and this is like one of buying hold forever type stocks, right? So I like that. That's bouncing off the top of the range, right? It broke out, pulled back. I mean, this thing went up to 175 points, 175. Right now it's 150, 157. That's a great buy. I had mentioned it when it was down here. I was like, man, Nike 140, you gotta buy it. Just buy it. You just buy Nike. There's nothing to think about there. How about my fave? How about Amazon? Just having an incredible day today. Now I like this one. If you follow me, this is all I talk about. Talk about it in every video. Well, it's time to talk about it in this video. You can see I got the bull flag pattern. Just waiting for it to break out. Let me tell you something. If it breaks out of this channel, it will explode. And that's why I want them to split the stock, because that momentum, that action at the top of this range will just catapult this stock. So that's what they need to do. But hopefully, it can still go up. They reported good earnings. I don't know. But they need to do that, man. A lot of people's anticipating that as well. Just split it. Come on, it's too expensive. 3,000, 3,400. Anyway, I think this thing reports in a couple weeks. I think we're gonna be testing the top of the range at the time it reports. Kind of like we was here at the last quarter. This thing pulled back. So we was at 3,700. I thought we was off to the races. No, false breakout. So we went from 3,700 down to 3,100. Right, 600 points down. And now it's back sideways. But you know what? It did not go to the bottom of the range. So that's good news, right? And you got the moving averages. Everything is just starting to consolidate. And if it gets like that, you're going to have a good explosion. So I'm not saying it's going to break. I don't know what this thing is going to do, to be honest with you. If I had to look at it, I'm bullish. So I got to put my non-bullish bias hat on, right? I actually think it goes sideways a little bit further until like here and then take off. But when you see this candle, this is what we're looking for. Oh, shoot. Man, fix my charts here. Y'all got too much going on. All right, this is what we're looking for. To see that candle right there, right? When we see that, and I thought we was getting that with this candle, okay? But it was fake. It was fake. But when we get the real one, we're going to have a move like that. So just be prepared, right? That's the move. Amazon, right? By the way, they announced they doing something special on the webcast. I believe they announced the webcast for earnings. Yes, yeah, it would be a bunch of rumors. I couldn't verify the rumors, but something special could happen. There was a bunch of rumors going on in StockTwits. All right, so We talked about Nike already. Why did I type that in? We'll talk about IWM. I thought about buying and I want to buy a call, a straight call on this. And I'll tell you why in a minute. But you see how it looks just like Amazon sideways action. The economy's going to be opening up fully. I mean, a lot of the small businesses, right? It's just going to start to the smaller businesses, because I always think these things are huge. But I think we're gonna get that uptrade again. This thing didn't do nothing since the beginning of the year. So you can see it's in the same consolidation pattern as Amazon. A little bit, it's just done doing nothing, right? Small caps generally are the leader. Like over time, I think small caps have the best track record out of all the indices. And Nasdaq's been on fire the last couple of years, so I'm not 100% certain on that anymore. But it used to be like that before Nasdaq before FANG and all that stuff, right? So I'm just thinking about just getting long this thing. Now the reason why, because these were one of the first options to have the January 24s, right? It's January 21 now, so this goes out there. These are one of the first ones. But if you look at got a little bit more pricier. But if you buy a at the money call for $3,000, it looks like you might be able to get it for $2,800 at the money over 2 years out. It's only costing you $2 a day. That's not bad for a call. It really is not. But if you want to go ahead and just take some of that, get some of that premium back that you're going to be spending, for the data decay, you can sell one of these way down here, right? Just sell one of them, and say sell this for $400, and then there's your fees, right? So you got it'll be a call spread. It'll be a nice wide call spread. So it'll still act like a call, right? So you'll have the 225 to the 325. That's going to make you a lot of money, okay? If this thing breaks out, because when you look at the chart, it's the same thing. If this thing breaks out, it's going to take off. It's just going to go straight up like this, right? So keep an eye on the small caps. Don't know when it's going to happen, but my eye is definitely on there. I thought that was you. You said you're getting ready to take a bullish position on Facebook. I don't know. My opinion in Facebook, and I still got that 320, 315 put spread, and every time it rips, I'd be wanting to buy it. I want to sell more call spreads against it. Sell call spreads against it, because every time this thing is in the news, right, that lady's getting ready to go to Europe to testify over there, and it almost seems like the world wants to come together and beat Facebook with a stick. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but Facebook always seems to, actually, that when you look at the monthly, it looks like a great buy. It's perfect. This is the pullback. That's the pullbacks it gives you all the time. But this time is different. But anyway, it always turned around after Mark Zuckerberg gets on the hill, right? So you're going to have that, and then eventually you're going to summons Facebook in, and what do you know? And it's going to be that's all you're going to hear. And why did you knew about the kids. Why was you putting it out there? And they're going to just be grilling them. And the stock is just going to fall. And I think that's when you buy it, because that's all of these drops. That's what was going on, right? I think, he's been at the hill 3 times. That's what's been going on. And that was always the turnaround point. And remember that last one was hanging out over here, and it just got crazy with the boycotts. That's another thing I think might happen. We might see these company boycotts again, even though it means nothing for the big company. If Coca-Cola boycotts Facebook, big deal. Okay, it's about small businesses, and this is what I was saying in those videos. And I was just loading up the calls, but I had got out at 300, and I should have 290. I should have just kept it going. Then it pulled back. Anyway, that's a long story. Anyway, but that's what I feel that's gonna is the turnaround point, right? We probably see some of that, and it's just gonna get more ugly. I'm same deja vu, just it's the same thing. Anyway, so I think that's the buy point, is when it's ugly, when it just looks like Facebook is done. That's the buy point, in my opinion, man. But if you look at this chart, and I know nothing about the news, I'm covering my ears, it looks like it is a good entry, right? Because every time it hit my little moving average of the 9, Right? This will be the 9-month average, right? Which was there, but it was the buy point here. Oh, I forgot. I'm like, why is it not drawing? Because I'm drawing gray over gray. Anyway, here, right? Here, that was the buy point. Hit that little 9. Here it went below. Right? See, so it could get ugly. It can have its moments. And then if you see it, you top there. Let's check this out. Let's do some quick measurements. Right? That was the high to that low. That's a 43% downturn. Right? This one to here, that's 40%, 39.56. This one to here, that's 20.59%. And from here to here is 15.98. See, it's not done yet. And you can see the pullbacks, right? Up 30, 40. So I think it has a little bit more to go. So let's bring it down to 35, 40, like it's been doing. Damn, shit, that's like 250. It might come back to this range right here. If it does, that was just quick little symmetrical type resistance, but right here's the breakout. We've seen it with a lot of other stocks, and it comes right back down to the breakout point, right? Because Facebook didn't do that. Look, it broke out, just kept going. There was no pull. Actually, here, take that back right there. If I go to the daily, I'm just now seeing that. There was the pullback, breakout, pullback, take off. Yeah, so it did. I take that back. Anyway, but yeah, it did check that level. But yeah, it just might come down to this. What was that? Anyway, I'm hearing things. It just might come back down to this in this area, right? So okay, so I'm telling you, that's a weed whack. The grass is cut. I'm telling you, every time I get to do videos, they want to get outside and start making all kind of noise. I'm telling you, man. Damn. All right, so that is Facebook. Sorry, I was you said, but yeah, I think it looks like a level because they still don't matter what goes on, right? These guys make a boatload of money, and that's why. But look at the selling, man. I just don't think it's over. A lot of people is caught up here, and I think if you get a little bouncing, and that's what's been going on, they just been selling right into it, So yeah, it's almost like you got to wait for that green weekly candle. This thing's been red for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. Let's see if it could show some sign of stability at some point, right? Anyway, that was Facebook. And let's look at Apple. I think I put that in it's because Apple's a leader, right? It's a huge stock. There's the breakout pullback, right? I think this is it's only up 0.5 today, but yeah, I'm not. It's hard for me to speak about Apple, but I'm not a fan. But I actually do like this level because it pulled back to the point, right? So right over the moving averages, it's perfect, right? This is a stock that I would mind getting in. I actually would like this more than depends. See, Facebook could rip. I was gonna say I would like to get in. I feel more but I would sleep better being into Apple than Facebook, But yeah, look, you got your pullback from the top to the bottom. Let's see what we did here. Measure there, there. What are we down? That's 12%. Yeah, so we down like 12% from the high. So yeah, just kind of nibble. Start getting in there. If this market turns, this stuff will come down. It's still early yet. We're bouncing. Earnings is going to be the telltale. If the earnings can support these moves, then I think we could continue to go higher. So I was hoping you guys get in here and tell me the stocks that you want to talk about, and then we can kind of go on and on and on, but there's nobody there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I did talk about Facebook, though. I'm going to end the video. Get long Bitcoin. Continue to get long. I actually wanted to buy some. The move is actually too big today, so I'm going to hold off. I might wait until it hits that and get it on a pullback. But, yeah, it's going to be all about Bitcoin. That's all you're going to hear next week. Bitcoin. And I noticed a lot of the altcoins haven't really been ripping like they used to. And I think because that money's coming out of there and going to Bitcoin. And then when those was ripping, Bitcoin wasn't really doing nothing. It seems like, okay, the Bitcoin's not doing nothing. Let's start buying some of these altcoins, right? And then now that Bitcoin's ripping, everybody I think is selling altcoins going into Bitcoin. Seems like that's what's going on. But it's at the high of today for the most part, 62,375. Look at the daily. Look at that candle. Look at this. It's almost there, man. We got another. It's 2:22. We got another hour and 40 minutes before the market closes. Will it reach that high? Let's see. I don't know. All right, y'all. So thanks for watching, man. This is Dre. Dre Trades. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, and all that. Hit the bell notification. Okay, you know how that stuff. Blah, 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 blah. There it is. I'll talk to you guys later. Oh yeah, today's Friday. So have a good weekend. I'll see y'all later. Peace.